Welcome to Decades of Horror, the 1980s.
By the four beasts before the throne, by the fire which is about the throne, by the most holy and glorious name, Satan, I, Stanley Coopersmith, will retain. I will retain.
This is episode 263, recorded July 10th, 2024.
Gruesome Magazine.
Yay! My name is Jeff Mohr. And
Sydney Greenbound.
Good have.
That's
this
Apple
podcast
Pound.
is about horror films released between 1980 and 1989. Each episode by co-hosts Bill Mulligan, Crystal Cleveland, and Chad Hunt. And I will tackle another classic or not so classic film from this radical, gory, influential, and gruesome decade. Joining me tonight is Crystal Cleveland, the living dead girl and co-host of the Gruesome Magazine podcast, and owner, publisher, editor, personality on the Gothic Cottage YouTube channel.
It makes that sound so owner, publisher. Ooh, la la. What's up? I'm so excited about talking about this movie. I'm super excited. Yeah, this one, y'all. This is high up on the list of 80s flicks now, y'all.
There's some very
yeah.
Yeah, there's some satisfying moments here. Also joining us is Chad Hunt, comic book artist and co-host of Decades of Horror, the all of them. How you doing, Chad?
I am possessed. Got my cup of
mushroom
coffee here.
Mushroom coffee.
My little tummy's warm and bubbly, and
Why
I told you before.
Making me laugh.
I some of the parties I used to go to would have mushroom tea, but I don't think it was the same thing. So, also joining us is
I hate hippies.
Yep.
Yes.
Bill Mulligan. Writer, director, special effects guru, all-around nice guy, and a published author.
Oh no, I froze again. I'm gonna have to hold this book for the entire thing.
Yeah. That's what.
Yeah, that would have been great.
You should at least have like a stand or something, or a.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I need to get a new background with just like multiple images or something. That's fine.
All right.
Oh, it's so nice to see you guys. Well, I'm hot. It's hot as blazes here. It's like
it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's appropriate to have a demonic hell movie with fire because that's what it feels like here. Just throw in a few carnivorous hogs and it'd be the same thing.
I was just looking at the temperature. 75 here.
Oh, you know what?
It's 83 here. That's not too bad, I guess.
But
it's also almost 9 o'clock at night. So
right,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually
Okay. Well, very cool. And this should be fun to talk about. Decades of Horror and Gruesome Magazine are partnering with Play Now Media on several of their streaming channels. And Decades of Horror, the 70s and 80s, are lined up on Wicked Horror TV, as is Classic Era. All three of them are on Wicked Horror TV. So check it out there. You can subscribe and you can pay a fee or not pay a fee. And the difference is ads and you don't get all the premium content, or you pay the fee and you don't get ads and you get all the premium content. So you have choices, but we do a lot of stuff there. And since we're not premium, you can see us without paying. Although you get the ads, So
if they pay for the premium, do they get to see us without the ads?
Yes.
So like in the middle of one of my insightful critiques, they don't suddenly have two strangers appear on the camera.
Well,
Mom, I got that not so fresh feeling. It's like, oh God, no, where's Bill?
I actually take the time to tell them where to place the ads.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
They're supposed to be every so many minutes apart, which I stretch a little bit. It's not hardcore, but it's I just look for where there's a break in the conversation, or I try not to break into when we're giving our first impressions, because I hate it when I get to the point where there should be an ad and Bill starts his first impressions, because I know I'm just kidding. I tease.
Nope.
I love you, Bill. I love the input. Keep it up.
Oh yeah.
All right. What are we doing here? So on this podcast, we start off with some basic details of the film we're covering. And then we give first impressions and go over some taglines. We have some taglines. And then we take off down the road. We take a look at the posters, international posters, who's in the movie. Do we have any cool stuff we want to talk about? I know Crystal does. So, etc. And this is a spoiler podcast. So even though this movie came out 43 years ago.
Holy cow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You had your chance to see it.
Right now it's on Shudder, both as a just a regular offering and Joe Bob Briggs treatment.
I saw it on Shudder.
Plex.
But,
it was on Plex too.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's out there.
It's not hard to find.
All right. So here's the film we are covering is Evilspeak.
Tranya.
1981, directed by Eric Weston, written by Joseph Garofalo and Eric Weston. The cast includes Clint Howard, R.G. Armstrong, Joe Cortese, Claude Earl Jones, Haywood Nelson, Don Stark, Charles Tyner, Lenny Montana, Hamilton Camp, and Lynn Hancock. Production company, the current copyright holder is Leisure Investment Company, but also Coronet Films. Filmed at Chatsworth, Los Angeles, and the St. Anthony's Seminary in Santa Barbara, where there was a military academy and a chapel there. And I don't think I'm spoiling too much, but they were getting ready to run a freeway through there. So they told them to hold off on the church, and is it okay if we burn it up? They were like, yeah, cool. Filming dates. Well, they started filming June 26th, and according to, I forget where I read this, but somewhere it said it took them 3 weeks to film. Release date.
3 weeks.
Now, this is weird. This was a lot of places before it was U.S. Premiered August 22nd, 1981 in Japan, September 2nd in France, November 12th in the Netherlands, November 13th in Chicago, January 15th in Honolulu, and January 19th, 1982 in Santa Cruz. U.S. wide was February 26, 1982. So it gets a 1981 date because that's when it premiered, I guess. I don't know. That's what they have on it at IMDb and Wikipedia and every other place I look. So budget, it's about $1 million.
Okay.
And domestic box office, $10 million. And I didn't find that listed anywhere except on the Joe Bob Briggs treatment. He was talking to Clint Howard and he said, it cost you $1 million, you made $10 million. Where the hell's Evilspeak 2?
Yeah, because that's a good return.
Yeah.
So that's it. I'm using Joe Bob as the authority on the box office. Synopsis: an outcast military candidate taps into a way to summon demons and cast spells on his tormentors through his computer.
His cutting-edge computer.
And
oh my God.
I just think Clint Howard is such a badass towards the end of this movie. It's awesome. So there's a picture of him swinging his broadsword, covered with blood, and hair flying.
Hair akimbo.
Toupee flying, I guess. All right. Well, we have first impressions now. And this was Bill's pick.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I had not seen this movie.
Oh, wow.
I was totally aware of it. I for whatever reason, I passed by it many times. And why do we do the things we do? It sounded like something I would like. I thought that I had seen it for the longest time, but I was actually thinking of Fear No Evil, which has a similar, bullied kid turns to Satan kind of thing. But this one, the bullied kid is Clint Howard, which immediately elevates it. And I had a blast. This is now one of my, definitely top 15 80s horror movies. This is such an 80s horror movie. It's so typical of it. Just it's got all the 80s stuff there. It's a hodgepodge, and it works. I watched it with my wife, and when she watches the movies that we review, it's very hit or miss. I tend to, if I have a feel, let's just say if it's a Chad pick, I'll usually wait till sometime when she's doing something else and I'm home or whatever early, and so I not to inflict that on her. But I took the chance on this one, and I saw that it was on Joe Bob, and Joe Bob makes things entertaining even if they're not. And this was entertaining, and Joe Bob made it better. I really like it. It's a broad thing. The bullies are way too bullying. The teachers are just awful. It's pretty unrealistic in that sense. I mean, I work at a high school. I know what bullies are like, and they're not quite as over the top here. They're also real high school bullies are not as old as the people in this movie are, but that's part of the charm of high school movies. Everyone's in their 30s. Once this thing gets going, dang, it's got a hell of a cast. You're watching this yeah. I know that guy. I know that guy. It's like, holy crap, is that Luca Brasi from The Godfather? And indeed it is. It's they're hateful. You're hoping for them to die. They kill his dog. Spoiler alert and trigger warning for people.
Pre-John Wick.
Yeah, pre-John Wick.
John Wick, basically. Yeah.
They should only be so lucky that they killed John Wick's dog, which would be a headshot and it's over quick. But oh no, not when we start using our Apple 0.5 to bring up some really sharp AI type graphics to summon a demon. And the next thing you know, it's hog wild, literally wild hogs coming and eating you. And this is a blast from beginning to end. It's just a whole lot of fun. I had a great time. I'm glad I picked it. And while I was watching, I was like, Crystal is going to love this.
Yeah.
So let's see if I was right.
That's what I was thinking. Well, with that lead in, I guess we'll go to Crystal. And when did you see this?
Of course, I loved it. This is my first time watching
it.
I've never even heard of this film, so I am super disappointed. I mean, y'all, like, I only had access to what I had access to. Okay, so right. But this movie is really good. I mean, it's bad, but it's very good. Like, the special effects are horrible. Like when there's the decapitation, the first scene, the decapitation, the girl's there, and then like Bull from Night Court or whatever. That's Sean pointed that out because I was like, I was like, who are you talking about? He's like, that's Bull from Night Court. I'm like, I don't know. But then I looked it up, and I was like, I do remember that. Too bad he didn't show up in the film again. Well, he kind of did, but not really. But anyway, like when it switched, I was like, oh, okay, I know exactly what I'm in for now. And by the way, that whole front scene could have just not been included.
Sure.
And it would have been fine. That was totally unnecessary. He could have just found the book and this whole thing was happening. But the story was coherent, and that's a positive for the 80s. And the acting was great. The characters are over the top. It's ridiculous. The dog is the cutest thing I've ever seen in the whole entire world. I didn't like the way that they held the dog, though. At points, I was like, "Don't touch the dog like that."
Yeah,
I'm going through some stuff, and I'm like, "Don't touch that dog like that." Ooh, you gonna set me off? It's hard. The dog goes, but it was a John Wick situation, so the devil did get his due.
He did.
But let me tell you, the piece de resistance was when Clint did his firework. The wire work, y'all, I can't handle it. So for one, so the wire work is like, when they put wires around you and they hoist you up, right? If it's done well, you shouldn't see the clothes move. Of course, his pants are all hiked up.
Yeah. The biggest wedgie I've ever seen in a horror
devil's
movie.
Wedgie.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he looks pretty amazing. It's ridiculous. It's bad, but that's the kind of stuff I like. He's got his head cocked and he's like, and then he's just moving forward. And I was just like, this movie is the greatest thing ever. Like, it's got some stuff that's super memorable. There's also a beginning scene where Bull again is like coming like they use so much fog in this film, like a ridiculous amount of fog, like more than I've ever seen. And he's clearly on skates or some sort of police system holding his sword, and they just pull him through. And I'm like, okay.
And it's not a smooth roll. He's like wobbling as they're pulling him.
Well, yeah.
I mean, look, they have corporal punishment, and I mean, obviously all these kids are adults because otherwise, ooh, okay, just the way it's done. But like the whole film has so much goodness. They have this nasty cook or chef, and you think, ooh, but then he's like the coolest dude,
Yeah.
you know, and very sweet and kind. And I love how they actually like went against type with that. I just enjoyed it. Like this movie captivated me. I mean, I enjoyed the humor of it. I know it was meant to be serious, which is unfortunately why it's so good, because it's super bad, but good, funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not so bad it's good, but it is so bad it's good. You know, like this is high quality for like, what was it, like 81 or 82? Like it was early 80s.
81.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that, like it's good for that. They've got these I don't even know if they're computer graphics or they made cartoons. It's probably cartoon. And it looks good. Like I mean, it's a lot better. I feel like the budget, you know, like they had a lot going on in this film. All the costuming and stuff, like they clearly skimped on some of the effects. Sorry, it just makes me laugh. And someone really likes hogs. Someone clearly had access to a hog farm.
Pre-Hannibal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hogs are scary.
They are scary. But did you notice they used like a boar head when it would attack?
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
it had,
sure.
Yeah, right.
Well, you're not going to trust an actual boar.
Oh, that was funny. So yeah, I loved this. I loved this movie. This movie is primo. It's fantastic. Like it's really genuinely a good film. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it to like people who don't like 80s horror movies, but if you like 80s horror movies, this is an absolute must see. Yeah. That is
Cool.
all. Yeah.
That
Mhm.
is all. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Chad.
And Chad and I did the same
AKA
thing. I'm like,
Mr. Coopersmith.
Again, another movie that drives home the point that pigs will eat you given the chance.
yes. Yep.
Yeah, I've never seen this before, and I used to see it in the video store and just walk right by it like it was the plague, because I thought it was like a horror comedy or something because of what's his name?
Clint
Howard.
Clint Howard, yeah, because you usually see him in some goofy things, and I thought it, for some reason I just thought it was a horror comedy. I guess it was the premise when I read the back of the box, maybe. But yeah, I agree. This was a very good 80s film. This was all the tropes of 80s films. You got bullying, you got revenge, you got the devil in there, cults and colonels giving out corporal punishment, and I swear that colonel guy was the guy from Friday the 13th that go, "It's got a death curse." I swear that's him. I don't know for sure, but I could have sworn that was him. But yeah, very good. I enjoyed it a lot. It's fun, most of all, and it keeps your attention. The guy in the basement that worked in the basement, I can't remember his name either. That mushroom coffee.
Oh, the sergeant. They call him sergeant.
Yeah,
Armstrong,
Sarge.
yeah.
The Sarge. Yeah, he was great. Where's my crow? There's my crowbar. You effing this and you effing. There's my effing crowbar. And that was just, he was hilarious too. And I kind of like the effects, especially
Well, yeah.
the beheadings. They were nice and juicy and
yeah.
chunky, and even when the old Sarge plunged his hand into that one kid's chest and yanked his heart out, and zombie Sarge, and that was good. That was a good one too. And It was great. I loved it from beginning to end. I liked the part at the end when everybody got their comeuppance and the little tag on at the end telling what happened to everybody at the end was kind of a, they could have added a scene where he's in a straight jacket in a padded cell or something.
Yep.
Going, I shall return.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. Yep. Your turn. Yep.
All righty. Well, I loved the last half hour. I loved it once the demon was unleashed. I got kind of tired of all the bully escapades as he gradually worked up to getting the whole spell in there. But boy,
it's called tension building.
Those bullies got their due, and that was awesome. Wow. And they were really good bullies. They were either bullied or were bullies in high school. I think
there was a couple of them that could have used some bullying themselves.
Right. So yeah, I love the cast. The effects are decent. For a low budget 81 movie, the effects are decent. Yeah, I saw Clint Howard's pants hiked up part of the time when he was zooming around, but I just
makes it better.
Yeah,
it's funny.
I always thought the look on his face was because of that.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like he looks super uncomfortable. Yeah.
So I enjoyed the heck out of it. I wish we'd have seen more of Richard Mohr, but that was pre Night Court. So
right.
He hadn't.
Oh, that's his name. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway. All right. He was Bull on Night Court. Yeah.
He looked pretty good as
he made a good villain.
Guy.
Made a good villain.
See if we're going to run across some of these. This one has a. Go ahead, Crystal. I was just going to go over the.
Go ahead.
I was just going to go over the AKAs quick because there's two. This is one of those ones where a long list of them was just all Evilspeak. I can tell it was just Evilspeak, which they said came from the idea that at that time, as personal computers were coming out, computer speak was a phrase.
Phrase.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So that's what they were going with. But anyway, and I'll probably mess these up. But let's see, Mensajero de Satanás, Satan's messenger in Mexico.
Are you looking at something?
And yeah, well, it's then also known as on the right above taglines. Messe Noir in France, Black Mass. La Promesa di Santana in Italy, Satan's Promise. El Legado del Diablo in Spain, Legacy of the Devil. And Der Teufelsschrei, the Devil's Scream in Germany. I just love German. Just sounds so nasty. All right. Well, now is the time on Decades of Horror in which we do taglines with Chad.
Okay. These aren't too bad. I actually read these beforehand, so these aren't too bad.
Okay. I actually took a partial duplicate out just so you wouldn't have to read.
Thanks, Jeff.
Wow, what a guy.
Wow. I take back everything I've ever heard about you. Or said about you. I'm sorry. Taglines for the movie Evilspeak are: data incomplete, human blood required. Thus spake the computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And well, we'll see later. I won't wait.
Okay. Hey man, remember that little kid you used to pick on? Well, he's a big boy now.
Okay. That's awful.
That's terrible.
Pretty bad.
You bullies.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And here's one by my grandmother. A computer programmed by the devil himself.
Oh,
Okay, that's fine.
She
That's
hated the
fine.
computer.
that's Windows ME.
Yeah. Apple year 0. The computer at the service of the devil.
And I assume that
Sounds
was
like a Doug McClure movie.
well, that was a French tagline that I translated, which I assume was their version of the one right above it that you just said. The computer programmed, or at this anyway.
From Warner Brothers, who gave you The Exorcist, an even more terrifying journey into the diabolical world of demonic possession and horror. That's kind of a low blow
That's
right
stretch.
there.
That's an
That's kind of a
overstatement, but
stretch.
okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's compare it to The Exorcist.
All righty. And that's been Taglines with Chad.
The Chad's a hero.
Oh, I forgot.
Cool and rad. With him reading taglines, they can't be that bad.
That's what you think,
I lo-
Crystal.
I love how when I say bad, like timidly, like bad, right? Right?
It's great. It's
Oh,
amazing.
God.
All right.
Yeah.
I just wish there was an
Check out.
extended version.
Oh God. See, don't tell me that, because then I'll be like, well,
We need the
Yeah.
10-minute jam version.
That's right, with the big drum solo in the center.
Singing a song. All right. So we do have some posters here. Let's check
Oh,
these
do
out.
we? I found so many posters, and I guess now that you told me it was released in so many countries, yeah, I guess each one got there. This is the one I was used to seeing.
Yeah, that's the one that's most familiar to me. And what I was going to say was that it's got
never
Yep.
seen this.
the font
Crazy.
at the top
Mhm.
is made to look like a computer screen or a computer like font of some sort, even
Well,
though
even
it's
the-
not.
What?
The title is half evil font, half computer font.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
you're right. You're right.
Interesting.
I think that's might be why I avoided renting the movie, is that I didn't think there was going to be a whole lot of potential in a early 1980s computer horror movie, because home computers were kind of still something new, and they were really crude. I mean,
Yeah.
we'd laugh at it now. They were just kind of calculators on steroids.
All right. And another one.
Thus spake the computer.
It looks very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy doesn't look at all like Clint
Not
Howard.
really, no.
Yeah.
But it shows how he got bald. His hair's on fire.
All right. And the French.
Black
That's
Okay.
Death.
the Ordinateur à service des
Ah, the French. Yeah, they slipped a naked woman on there.
Well,
They did.
yeah. But that was fair. That was in the movie.
It was in
Exactly
the movie.
like that. So that's
Ah, the French.
Yeah.
The French. And this one.
okay.
That's kind of a Fulci kind of thing going there. I
Yeah.
like it.
I
'cause it's got
hate
the pigs.
that font at the top. I cannot stand it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
I can't read it.
It's a weird.
What is the first? Oh, remember. Well, you see, I need a translator to.
Who's the grown
Oh.
grizzly mountain man with the sword?
It's Madman Howard. Oh, let's see. And
And
Whoa.
this looks like the Polish
is-
poster. That's
crazy. I love it, but it doesn't.
Doesn't have anything in there
like
that
the
was in the
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
There's right. It's
it looks
wild.
like it would the movie would be much more artsy.
was there a woman
Yes.
drowning in a river? I
No.
must have.
There was
gone
no
back
woman
and-
falling down into a.
There was no woman
City
trapped
cavern.
or dude trapped in a coffin or
Coffin
whatever.
or-
That's
No.
what that
Yeah.
looks like.
Paint some devilish scenes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's a cool poster though.
Yeah.
And that is
let's
not
see.
Clint Howard by any stretch of the
No,
imagination.
no.
No.
And there's the Exorcist tagline.
I was
And-
gonna say, I was like, wait a second. They made The Exorcist almost as big
As
as
big as Evilspeak.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's funny.
Weird.
That's a marketing department doing their job, boy.
That's right.
Mhm.
Got that upside. We can't just have a pentagram. It's got to be an upside down pentagram.
Yeah.
And make it look like a computer drew it.
That'll look even freakier.
We don't
All
have
right.
those abilities yet.
And
Okay.
He looks
Yeah.
like a
All
kaiju
right.
here.
Oh my god,
That's what I was
love
thinking.
that- I love that they took the freaking pageant. And
Yes.
yes, that's
which is a big part of
ridiculous.
the movie. Yeah. And it does look like it's a kaiju movie. It's
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense though. It's tailored to
Yeah.
you know what they think would appeal.
that's great. And the nude woman in the bathtub on the left.
Right. Of course.
Getting attacked by the hogs.
This movie's got it all.
All right, and I believe is that it? I guess that's it.
I think so.
That is, yeah.
That's a lot of posters.
Well, we sent the writer or the co-writer and the director, Eric Weston. This is the only horror movie he'd done, and he didn't direct a whole lot of stuff, but he's been involved in productions of a lot of things. And I think I read that he was co-creator of TriStar Pictures with a couple people.
Really? Oh, wow.
Anything you noticed about the direction that seemed?
It's competent.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I
3 weeks. They shot this in 3 weeks, and it's got a lot going on. I mean, you just tell me I'm going to make a movie about a kid who's bullied and he gets revenge with his pigs. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a 3-week production, and they just kept on throwing stuff in there. We got Satanism, we got this, we got that. I'm like, does any of this make sense? Okay, maybe not. Okay, how do you keep a room full of candles that are mysteriously lit? How is that hidden? How is this? I mean, I know this guy's a drunk and probably bad at his job, whatever it is he does in the basement.
Keep the candles lit.
Yeah, he just keeps all those candles lit. Nobody knew about it.
He disappears for long periods of time, doesn't he?
Well, he's got his booze and girly magazines, you know.
Well, I mean, Clint too, down in the basement. And,
yeah.
And all he has to do is say, "Oh, well, I sent him down there to clean," and everybody goes, "Oh, okay." It's a good place for him. So, well, it says he was co-founder of TriStar Pictures alongside Lang, Elliott, and Wanda Dell, who I don't know either, but interesting. Let's see, where was I? Take a look at some Clint Howard stuff. So, Clint.
God, he's so crazy looking.
He's the one who looks like he might maybe belong in high school if he were left back a bunch of times. Because he's got a boyish face, and even now
he does.
I forget how old he is. He's got to be in his 60s.
He is
70s?
64, I think.
64.
That's got to be a wig at the bottom. He doesn't look like he has that much hair.
I don't know. I think it. It looks like it's just.
Go ahead,
you
Bill.
know.
On Joe Bob, yes, there is a wig. This was a wig.
It is a wig.
Well,
oh God! So they wanted him to look absolutely insane,
right?
They made him buy his own toupee.
What?
Because at the age of 21, he already had a bald spot about like that, and he said the toupee he had was only about this big. So the rest of that, I'm assuming, is his hair.
His real hair, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
like a skull cap toupee.
Most of us know him with almost no hair. I guess at a certain point he just embraced the horror and shaved it.
Well, he did. Yeah. They asked him when he went totally, he just said to hell with it, and he really couldn't remember, but it's not too much farther. He said he was losing his hair when he was in high school.
Because my brother's off filming Splash, and I'm doing this.
Oh yeah. Isn't his brother like Ron Howard or something?
Yes.
Okay.
And his dad is Rance Howard, who's a really well-known character actor too. That
showbiz is in his blood.
Yeah, he was in 17 Ron Howard movies.
Yeah,
I was going to say Ron Howard puts him in almost every movie.
It's almost like a Hitchcock thing. If you go to see a Ron Howard movie, at some point you're going to see Clint, and it's okay. You can say, well, that's total nepotism, and I guess it is. But he's always good in the role.
He's good enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, I gotta say, people who talk about nepotism, we're all just jealous. I am like, use what you got. Let's just hope you have the talent, because I would love to have that opportunity. I would love to just even have the chance to have that opportunity. Yeah.
I'm so with you. I'm with you on that. I don't understand these people that get upset about it. Like, oh, how dare they give their kid a leg up in the business? Like what? If an actor said to you, I didn't help my kid out at all. As far as I know, she's being chased around the room by Harvey Weinstein. She's going to have to, work her way up the way we all did. I think you are the worst parent in history.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Help your damn kid out.
You? It's yeah.
So here's the Bill made up some posters or some other credits, and of course,
What is that top one? Is that Dune?
No,
That's
something-
Star Trek. The
Star
original
Trek.
Star Trek.
It's
Oh, that's it. I knew I'd seen that before. I was like, what is that? I've seen that.
I
That's
can't
when he's
remember
like
the title.
he's like
but-
the genius kid, the genius person or whatever.
Well, they think
Yeah,
he's the
that was
big monster
creepy.
because he's got this fake monster head that he uses to communicate
Right.
with
The one
the
they showed.
Corbinite, the Corbinite maneuver. That's it,
Yes,
the Corbinite.
it's the it's like the Wizard of Oz, right? You
Mhm.
get the guy, and then they somehow or another they get through and see the guy behind the scenes.
And he's a sweet guy. He's like, have some Tranya. And it's like,
Yeah.
and he's so odd looking.
He's so creepy.
Even at a young age. I mean, okay. So look, I've met him at a convention. He is a very sweet, nice man and everything. He does not have conventional leading man good looks. That wasn't in the
Not
card.
at all.
It wasn't in the cards. But he made the best of it. And yeah, I like seeing him. I loved him in Rock and Roll High School. It's usually smaller roles, but memorable character actor roles. And he's managed to make a whole career out of that. So good for him.
Fist of the North Star. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Based on the anime.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the
it's
Wraith.
not like
Is that the
he-
Charlie Sheen Wraith movie?
It's not like he doesn't earn his own. It's not like Ron Howard paved the way for him
Right.
because he's got over 250 credits.
Well,
So,
look at he's a baby there. Like he's a wee
He's
little
a wee
one
little
there.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, so like clearly Ron
Same
Howard,
teeth. Same teeth he
Yeah.
has as when he's an older guy.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah,
that was
that's
just
unfortunate.
the yeah. The Corbinite maneuver, and he played Balak.
Yes. Bela.
And he started off, well, he actually did a couple things before that, but he was in 5 episodes of the Andy Griffith Show
Oh.
Oh,
when his brother's
okay.
playing Opie.
Ron was in all episodes of the Andrew Griffith Show.
Yes.
oh, wow.
But I started looking stuff up for him because I was kind of like 250 credits. Wow. So he's been in, besides that original Star Trek, he's in an episode of Strange New Worlds, Discovery, Enterprise, and Deep Space Nine. So
Playing
all of
different
them-
characters, right?
right? All of them except Next Generation and Voyager, I think. Rob Zombie kind of likes him. He's in 3 from Hell, Lords of Salem, and Halloween. And then this list I pulled of horror movies. The Dentist 2, Leprechaun 2, Ticks, Carnosaur, Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, Disturbed, The Wraith, which you mentioned, and he was in, and this is a pretty good episode actually, an episode of Night Gallery called The Boy Who Predicted Earthquakes.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's prescient, and he sees something that he doesn't really think it would be a good idea for everybody else to know. So anyway, and I thought it was funny because he has a quote on his page. It says, people don't realize that doing a horror movie is hard work. You're out there all day, screaming your lungs out, breathing in toxic makeup fumes, rolling around in the dirt, getting your eyebrows burned off. It's not like doing a sitcom. So he gives some.
It's more fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. So, anyway,
He did mention that this film had pretty long hours.
yeah.
Well, to film it in 2 weeks though?
Yeah.
Well,
Very
yeah,
true,
for
but
sure.
still,
Yeah.
I
I
think
would
he
rather
said,
get it done.
the day
Awesome.
with the aerial work was a 24-hour day.
Oof.
I would imagine. Because okay, so that just being upright on the wires is hard because you have to actually balance yourself because otherwise you'll
Right.
go
Start
forward or
flipping
back.
around.
Have you
Like,
have
you
you ever
have
done
to-
that, Crystal?
Yeah, I have.
I was
Uh-huh.
because you were speaking, you were sounding like the voice of experience here.
Yeah, but like it's hard. It's actually hard. Like you have to
Yeah.
actually like kind of work. You have to you as long as you find your spot, it's okay. But
Mhm.
like you make the wrong move and you're like, eh. So it takes some strength and stuff. So I can imagine, and if they're moving him, so when they're moving him, in addition to him, because you've got the wires, you can imagine, really think about it. Like you've got this thing, and you've got these two wires. Like when you're going forward, especially if you want it to look right, you've got to really stay. That's probably why he's so stiff.
Right.
Yeah.
When they're moving, to keep him like upright. I mean, it's hard work. I could see how that would take. I mean, he was up on that wire for a good portion of the end film. I mean, it worked. It looked pretty cool. And if you're going to pay, because it's expensive work too. If you're going to pay to have it done, you should actually like get the full amount of it.
And you're right. It would go from scary to silly real fast if you start suddenly swinging and bobbing around.
Well, especially if you're top heavy. When you,
yeah.
Crystal says, yeah. Oh my God.
Moving on.
At first, I was thinking, what are you saying? What are you saying that Clint Howard has a big head? But then eventually I got it.
Well, I was actually thinking, this is the way my brain works. You ever do that old thing where
we know
where women, you put a chair between you and a wall.
Oh yeah,
You bend over till your head's touching, and women can stand up because they've got the base of their hips. The baby
childbearing
things. Yeah. So that's kind of what I was started me thinking about that. But anyway.
Well, I definitely think that I know there's another one that women can do that men can't do that I just saw. And it was something about raising something up. And the dude's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be able to do it. And he couldn't. Yeah. I think those are so interesting. I think it's mainly the hips for sure. Where we differ, because I think we're way more flexible and stuff,
Yeah. All right. Clint.
That looked like Bill when he froze the last time.
I cannot with this dude, y'all. Like, this is why this movie is freaking epic, because look at that. Even just look at the bottom. Look at his pants all hiked
up. Real hiked.
That's right. He did.
But like,
but then they would let him down periodically to rest, so that they must have adjusted it or something. Because the other one, he doesn't look like that.
Yeah, it doesn't look as bad there. I'm sure it was a little different. And it actually looks like his shirt is more tucked in one, or is that just the tie hanging? I don't know. It does look a little, but there was different portions. I didn't notice the outfit being that different, but that is hilarious to me. I love it. It's awesome.
That's great. I didn't notice it that bad. I noticed it.
Yeah. So now you see what I was talking about, because when I saw that, I was like, oh God. Oh God.
Next time I watch it, that's all I'm going to be able to see.
That's the first thing I was saying to myself watching it. I go, they must have that harness jacked up his ass. Something fierce, because his pants are always stuff to his knees.
Well, the weird thing, it's almost like they're attached to his pants somehow, but which you wouldn't, I don't know how you would do that. Anyway.
It should be on him.
Yeah.
Right.
But it could, if they pull it up high enough, it probably is pulling everything with it. Like it, I don't know.
Or if it slides up afterwards, yeah.
I just want to say, if I were attached to that thing, meaning that I'm basically helpless, at the same time they're setting the set on fire.
Oh yeah. Well, is that actually around him though?
Yeah.
Do you think that's?
I'm thinking it is.
Wow.
Oh, they talked about it. They sound like they set it
that.
on fire, and they said, I forget what he said. Anyway.
That's scary.
They
okay.
started that fire up, and it took off, and they had to.
That's a lot to concentrate on.
It is.
Yes.
I better have a pair of
not to
wire
mention,
cutters in my pants.
I hope the guys running the wires don't go, oh shit, it's too hot, and run away.
I'm getting out of here.
All right. Yeah, good old.
Yeah, that's
scary. And he comes off. He's so good at playing that awkward, socially inept guy all the way through the movie, and then when he becomes this demon warrior thing, it's amazing how good he is at that. I mean, I was kind of surprised actually.
And that is the payoff to what is, like you say, a pretty long build up. We're watching this guy get tortured and bullied and punished through no fault of his own, and you're starting. I'm getting a little antsy here, but then once it starts, you're with him. It's like,
Mhm.
don't kill him fast, Clint Howard. Kill him nice and slow. Let the pigs have a shot at it. Yeah. It's a good
What
ending.
was can someone explain the hogs? What is the deal with the hogs in the book? Okay, like what is the deal with the hogs and the book? Like, I'm like, why are these hogs coming out of nowhere all the time now?
There's kind of a whole made up mythology that just kind of when they wanted something to happen, that became part of it, I guess.
Well, isn't there a Bible story where
Well, yes,
the I am Legion
Jesus,
thing where they were
yes.
hogs, demons?
Well, Jesus casts out the demons out of a person into hogs.
Yeah.
And then he makes them go drown themselves. So
which is awesome. Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're supposed to be possessed.
Well,
hogs.
But so like the one what was her name? Miss Friedlander, the secretary.
Yeah, she was an odd duck.
Yeah, what was the deal with her?
Okay, but wait. Why did her hair color change? When she got into the shower, she had blonde hair. When she got in the shower, she became a brunette.
Maybe it just
did y'all notice
because
that?
it was wet. Well, she wasn't. I didn't think she was a brunette. I thought it was.
No. It was different hair.
Oh,
I am not kidding. Even
I'll
Sean,
have to go watch it again.
I was like, Sean. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, this is when she's in the shower.
She has a fairly long nude scene.
Wild.
For most.
I have to confess, I wasn't looking at her hair, so there you go. I missed it.
Well, but so she gets this book. He accidentally leaves the book with the pentagram on the cover with the evil spells and stuff, and she sits there reading it, and apparently all she has to do, well, first she tries to pick it off, and breaks a nail, I think, and then she's reading it. She's reading it there. She's reading it home, and apparently that just reading it summoned the hogs. I mean, you don't see her chanting or doing anything.
Right?
She doesn't do any kind of a spell or.
But she did give it blood because when she broke her fingernail, like a drop of blood
that
fell
could
on
have
the book.
Okay.
So there was her summoning right there. A classic blunder.
The hogs.
Those hogs around with human skin books.
Had the big
she was
tusks on
hilarious
them,
too. Because come on, like when he's getting spanked, she's like, "Oh yeah."
She can hear everything through the room.
I was like, here we are with you. And once again, the beauty of the 80s. Like, y'all, this freaking movie, so ridiculous.
Yeah, and that,
good.
When he does that, the Colonel Kincaid Tyner, he hadn't really done anything bad at that point. And he just says,
it's BS too, because these guys keep getting on him for stuff that they're making him do, and then as the result of that, well, if he's cleaning out the freaking basement, of course he looks the way he looks. Right. I mean, like, what?
They're trying to get him to drop out of the school. They don't like that he's there,
or quit the soccer team.
Yeah.
Can't, because they have to play everybody. It's like, okay, that's interesting rule.
And why is there a German in the U.S. military?
Not just a German. Okay. Clearly someone who should be on a list somewhere. This guy's obviously a Nazi.
I was like, what is happening here? And he's got these like U.S. pins. I'm like,
Why does this school have a big portrait of the Satanist excommunicated decapitator?
Esteban.
Yeah, why is he there?
In the church. Right?
Yeah. Seems an odd choice.
I did like the crucified Jesus. Like, I did like the way that they had it start moving and then it came off. But why wasn't it blood that was dripping? What there's just choices where I was like, what is that supposed to be? It's obviously not blood. So what is this? Odd. It looked like it was kind of just water, or just like water with food coloring. It did not look great, but I did like that death, the pastor's death. It was pretty funny. The eye. I mean, that was pretty. The kills were pretty successful.
He deserved that just from the little speech he gave, calling them little soldiers.
Why is everyone in this movie so creepy? And the dad from freaking one of the dads from that 70s show. Yeah, I was like, that's one of the dads from
that's the guy they call Bubba, right?
Dad.
That was the guy they
I
called
don't
Bubba. He was the
remember their
worst one,
names.
I thought.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Don Stark.
The
Don
one that
Stark.
killed the dog. Yeah.
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 So
Jerky
just
boy.
another one of those things I just think is hilarious. So the guy, the German Latin instructor, whose name was Hauptmann,
Yes.
and he was Captain Hauptmann, and Hauptmann in German is captain.
Captain.
Oh,
Captain,
so it's Captain.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Or if he knows Major from Catch-22.
That's right. Anyway, it was great. Well, this is one of our favorite guys, I think. R.G. Armstrong.
R.G. Armstrong.
He was
the harbinger, right, in Children of the Corn.
Well, he was the guy at the gas station that tried to warn people off. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. I wouldn't go there if I was you.
Why do they always go? They always go.
And he was like a military guy in Predator.
Yeah,
if I recall.
General.
Yep.
General. And I always wait for the line from him in every movie he's in. Almost, he goes, "Oh my God!"
Yeah. We've done a bunch of movies with him in it. Yeah. He was in. Well, he was a best friend of Andy Griffith.
Oh.
They both went to school at University of North Carolina in, I don't know, acting, theater arts or something, right? And played for the North Carolina Players or something like that. Got to know each other. He also, Crystal, was in Warlock, the Armageddon.
Oh, interesting.
He sure loved his crowbar.
And he did. And that's
I have a crowbar around here somewhere.
Of course you do.
That's what Clint Howard said was the line of the movie. "Where's my effing crowbar?"
Why was that dude so jacked up? Like, that dude clearly did not need to be anywhere around any of these people. Like, nobody.
That's why they left him alone down in the basement, I guess. Lived with his booze. And we mentioned this before, but he's the Sandman in the Metallica music video.
Wow.
He was also in the Friday the 13th TV series.
I loved the TV series. I haven't seen all the episodes. I don't know if it's streaming.
Beauty and the Beast, the Werewolf TV series, The Beast Within, which we did.
Ooh.
Devil Dog,
that's
Hound
one of those
of Hell.
Oh my God moments.
Yeah, it is.
Hound of Hell.
The Car.
The Car?
One of Doc's favorites.
Yeah.
Race with the Devil. Oh, and this is one we've talked about quite a bit. The Legend of Hillbilly John.
Oh wow.
We may have to do.
We'll have to do that, but we're not going to enjoy the experience. I'll tell you that.
Why? What's wrong with that?
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's based on a great writer's great short stories, and it ain't great. It's kind of wasted.
According to whom, Bill?
To me and everyone else who's seen it. It's got some good stop motion animation, and that's about it.
That might be enough for me. I'm easy peasy.
Well, we'll see.
And he was in, going back even farther, he was in 2 episodes of the Alfred Hitchcock Hour, 2 episodes of Alfred Hitchcock Presents, 1 episode of The Twilight Zone, and the most important of all, 2 episodes of The Texan, starring Rory Calhoun. And 2 episodes of Have Gun Will Travel.
Okay.
Right.
And I didn't do them because I didn't want to duplicate Joe Bob, but he went through a long list of TV shows that he was on in the 60s where he was in like 4 or 5 episodes of them and played different characters every time.
He was a chameleon.
He could be the official general type. He could be the drunken janitor in the basement. He could be the gas station.
He was too good in this.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want you to know. He was too good in this. Like, I was when he had the dog, I was like, this dude needs to die. Like, I got to kill him.
Some people.
Yeah,
he's
that's probably why.
Yeah, he took this super seriously. I mean, he's a fantastic actor. I'm sorry I don't remember him in anything else. I know I've seen those movies and stuff, but I don't remember him.
He's got a box of ears from his time in the Nam.
Yeah.
His mother wanted him to be a preacher.
Wow.
Oh,
But
well,
his
he
father
could have
was a
been.
preacher. His father was a preacher and was sounded like he was pretty violent and hard on the kids. He must have believed in the spare the rod thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, I'm not being anything like him. But when he started getting those kinds of parts, he definitely had something to draw on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good job.
yeah, oh, he's great. He's just one of those guys I love. I love seeing him. He's always memorable.
Oh, he's
Chad's
fantastic.
well, then we have Colonel Kincaid, played by Charles Tyner.
You know, I thought this guy was Crazy Ralph from Friday the 13th, but he's actually, I remember him from The Outlaw Josie Wales.
Yes.
That's where I always remember him from.
Isn't he the guy that pulls the ferry across the river?
Yeah.
And sings either "I Wish I Was in the Land of Dixie" or the Battle Hymn of the Republic, depending on
who he's pulling.
what kind of soldiers are on that side of the river. That's what I remember from too.
In this one, it looks like he's had a stick surgically inserted up his rear end because he's just a stiff son of a bitch, miserable, just a hateful guy.
Yep.
And you instantly know within 3 minutes, within 3 seconds, you know he is going to die horribly before the 90 minutes is up.
He does.
Yeah.
He was one of the guards or the I don't know I forget what you called them, the correction officers in Cool Hand Luke.
Oh, okay.
And he was also in Family Plot, the Hitchcock movie with Bruce Dern.
Hitchcock's last movie.
Yeah.
I remember him too from a few episodes of The Incredible Hulk.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I don't remember him at all. No shock, but
you got if you watch, if you were a kid growing up and you loved westerns, you that character in The Outlaw Josie Wales is so good. It's just implanted in your brain.
Yeah.
He's not on for very long.
Sean said that too. Sean was like, "There's so many people. There's so many dudes from Western movies in this." I was like, "Okay."
Well, you know,
are there?
in the 50s and 60s, westerns were like forensic shows today. Anyway, and he does
good.
He's got a great depth. Doesn't
these
he?
guys are fantastic. These guys are super good. Like,
they make us hate them.
Yeah.
You're emotionally invested in bad things happening.
The intensity. Yeah, their intensity is legit.
So
look at poor Clint there.
Yeah.
Man, it's so sad. Like he makes me sad. Look at that.
I didn't do anything, and I'm getting bullied and chewed out for being
my
bullied.
Parents
it's the
are
worst
dead.
Of all possible. Yeah.
I know, right? Both of my parents died. Oh yeah. Where'd you bury the body?
I would have given you an extra. See, I like to cook. I would have given you an extra helping of mashed potatoes. Aw, that's sweet.
Can I still have potatoes?
So the story about him, about Clint, when Colonel Kincaid gets killed, was Clint Howard actually was a pitcher on the varsity baseball team in high school.
Okay.
And so he said when he swung that sword at, the model head of the colonel, he comes down right on top of him, and he said, and it bounced off. And he was so humiliated.
That's scary.
That he went over, he picked up a sledgehammer in the set and swung it back and forth like you would warm up for batting practice with a bat with a weight on it, and then went back and did it and then blew the head up. There you go. At least that's what he said. He told stories. That guy, Bill, I don't know what you thought, but on his appearance on Joe Bob, it was a remote appearance. He was on the screen while they talked to him, and he looked like he's been telling these stories for like 30 years, right?
Yeah.
At conventions and stuff. So whenever one thing would come up, he'd just go into his spiel of stories.
And he is entertaining at conventions. He's very entertaining.
And he still does interviews like radio shows and podcasts and stuff like that. He still is on the air telling those stories.
All right. Well, yeah, he was on Darcy the Mail Girl apparently has a podcast, and she had interviewed him prior to being on Joe Bob's thing. So season 3 would have been 3 years ago? That would have been about 2021. All right. Well, after guy who's got the writing crop, we've got Richard Mohl. Now there's some.
That's what I'm talking about. That's where he comes through on the skates or whatever, and all the hogs. See?
Yeah.
Hogs.
Well, there was. I thought it was kind of cool though, because when he's standing up there and you see Clint Howard and his face changes of Richard Mohl.
Oh, that was a cool effect.
That was well done.
That was done really well. Yeah.
I guess they did that with mirrors and partial see-through mirrors and stuff.
I feel like they probably just cut it. They cut it and used like they had him stand in the same place is what I would think, and just overlap and cut the.
It's so easy to do it now, but they had to do it the old-fashioned way back then.
Clint Howard was talking about using a mirror that was 60% transparent or something like that.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know how they would, there's sort of a dissolve in there, but
wow,
it worked really well, because I was like, when I first saw it, I was like Clint Howard, and then I'm like, wait a minute, how are they making his face that nasty? And then pretty soon it was Richard Mohl. I thought it was.
You could do
see a movie with Richard Mohl playing this character.
It's sort of surprising. You expect he's going to come and be the big thing, but really in the end, it's Clint, which I prefer, but they kind of build this guy up as the big bad. The thing with the mirror, by the way, is like the Pepper's Ghost illusion. You have this mirror in front that is semi-transparent, and so it's reflecting something off to the right while also letting you see what's behind the mirror. And by playing
just like
around
the infinity mirrors,
by playing around with the lighting. So if you give the person who's off to the left that's being reflected in the front some good lighting, that's what you see.
Start making them brighter, and
then as you dim the light, you see what's behind it, and you can adjust and do things. It's how they would do, like a woman would turn into a gorilla or something. It's an old Carney trick.
I like Carney tricks.
Interesting.
I love that middle picture though, because it's sort of like the computer graphics.
Yeah.
Won't extend into infinity or something. I don't know what. I got orange chopsticks coming out of my eyes. Yeah, I would have liked to have heard more from him, but he became Clint Howard, and then, which you've already mentioned,
Luca,
Lenny Montana.
Luca brought Lenny.
Oh,
Lenny
I didn't
Montana.
even realize.
Best. It's one of the best stories in Hollywood. Lenny was, I think he was a former pro wrestler, and possibly a guy who worked for people who knew people who had to have their legs broken. Whatever. There's a lot of legends about him. They brought him on the set of The Godfather, and he was terrified, especially performing in front of Marlon effing Brando. So when they tried to shoot the scene, he was so nervous. He was flubbing his lines and all. And then Coppola had the genius idea. They saw that he was sitting in a corner with the script in his hand, memorizing the lines, saying them out loud. And they filmed him so that, and then they put that before he went to see Brando. So this guy is so terrified of the Godfather, the man that he serves. He wants to get everything exactly right. So he has written down what he's going to say, and he's practiced. He's rehearsing it. They used his actual rehearsal. They made that part of the character, and now suddenly the part where he's sort of flubbing his lines in front of Brando worked. Of course, he was we established that he was nervous and everything. Absolute genius. That's why Coppola is a genius. He's going to lose his shirt on his next movie, but he's a genius.
What's the next movie?
Megalopolis. And he's invested a ton of his own money in. Oh well, no guts, no glory.
Well, he was. I was looking up that scene, and the first scene you get is the one that he's not even in it. It's a bunch of the, Sonny and Al Pacino. I forget what his Michael and a couple of the other guys. Or Abe Vigoda comes in, and they're trying to get hold of Luca Brasi. call Luca. I've tried.
Yeah.
I've tried. We'll try again. And they come in and lay this package down and unwrap it. There's a big fish on it. And he goes, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Luca Brasi's swimming with the fishes.
Yeah.
See, in the book, Luca Brasi was the most terrifying person in the underworld. Everyone was scared of him. Great character.
And then he gets garroted in a bar.
And in this movie, like Crystal said, he's a sweet guy. He looks like Dusty Rhodes, and he's willing to give this poor orphan mashed potatoes.
And puppy. He gives him a
puppy chow. Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's keeping the dog and the puppies back there. Yeah.
You know, he and the hey guy from What's Happening Now is the only nice people in this movie. Who are not people who are nice.
Yeah. And what happened to them? We didn't really see.
No.
Actually, I know they weren't there, but
they didn't get killed. So I guess.
They didn't get killed. So Haywood Nelson, who was on What's Happening Now and What's Happening, and all started before that was on The Grady Show, a very short spin-off from Sanford and Son.
Right.
Which I just learned for the first time, things I didn't know before today, that Red Fox's real name was Sanford.
Oh, wow.
That was his last name. Or his dad's name was Sanford. Anyway. All right. So what were we talking about? Haywood Nelson. Yeah, he was on those two. That's the only thing I know what he was on, and he kind of quit acting a few years later and went into he's involved somewhere in the administration or business part of the movie business.
Smart.
You mentioned Don Stark, who's on the 70s show. The other one is Claude Earl Jones, who's the coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he was in
a lot of stuff.
Well, he's in a movie we did. Well, maybe two movies we did. I can't remember if we did that or not. No, we didn't do that one. All right. He's in Dark Knight of the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the guys. He was in Bride of the Reanimator.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
He's also in an episode of Werewolf. And a movie called She Freak.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen She Freak.
Great.
That's the only genre stuff I can find for. But for me, he's another recognizable character actor from that period. I would have never been able to pull out his name. But all right, and then we have the stars of the show,
pigs.
Are those like those
totally different pigs from what we had in the fence? Those are like wild boar, and the other ones were domesticated pigs.
Yeah. The scene, and I couldn't find a good shot of it, where they pulled the girl's guts out, was actually surprisingly effective and gory and nasty.
It was.
Because they will do that. They're like bears, except they taste like bacon, but they will eat you while you're alive and not even have the decency to kill you first.
That's
right. Like, don't mind me. I'm just going to be starting at your feet and work my way up. Oh.
Did you have, you grew up on a farm part of the time, right, Chad?
Yeah.
Did you have hogs on the farm?
Yes, sir.
And I don't know about me, but when we went to my grandfather's farm, that was the don't take rides from strangers story. Don't go playing in the pig pen. Stay away from.
I have a pig story.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay. So
usually, like you can see in the movie, these pigs would just wallow in their own filth all day long. They don't care. Yeah. they'll have a litter of babies or whatever, and those, whenever that would happen, it would always be in the part of the pen where it's just the muddiest, filthiest, stinkiest part of the. So you would have to take the babies out, move them to a drier area where we usually just make it a lot of hay down and stuff like that, and so the babies would have a dry, clean place to be. Now, the pigs we had, they come up to your neck. These were big hogs. Jesus, and I don't know, growing up around North Carolina, I don't know if you guys know what tobacco sticks are. They're just sticks, like a 1x1 square stick that you would hang the tobacco over to cure.
Okay.
And my dad hands me one of those And he says, now when I grab a baby, he goes,
Oh no.
and she's going to charge you. You just smack her across the nose once. And I was
Okay.
like, wait,
Oh my
what?
God, what?
And don't
Oh
miss.
my God.
Yeah. He goes, that's what he said too. He goes, do not miss. Or, I was like, I'm not doing that shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And he ended up doing it with my uncle. And I said, there's no way. I'm not doing it. I said, you can, however you want to punish me for not doing what you wanted me to do, I'll go along with it. I'm not doing that. I am not doing that.
Farming is one of the most dangerous occupations. I think. If you
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
look up the
I would
safety
imagine
rules.
like that's
Nothing but
crazy.
carnivorous boars and threshing machines. I mean, a million ways to die.
We used to throw corn cobs at them over the fence, and then why did you do that? I don't know. Just if you could get them to
They
like
probably ate it, right?
wiggle their ear or flap their tail or something. The cows too. We would do.
Yeah.
He also would have horses, and he would give us rides on the horses around the farmyard too. But anyway,
But none of them look like that one.
no, they don't. They didn't look like that.
I've hunted those kind before.
I was gonna say that looks like
Oh,
what do they
they're-
call those in Texas, jackarinas or
Javelina.
javelinas.
Oh,
Javelinas.
javelinas. Yeah.
That's what I
Oh
was trying to
God.
think
I'm from Texas. I should know. But I was like, yeah, they do call them javelinas. There was actually a high school that was their mascot.
I only know that because there's a Pixie song. So
And finally,
Oh yes.
Some
And once
demons.
again, the
and the pig mask.
hogs. I know. I'm like,
There's
there's
some kind
obvious.
of
I just kept thinking,
Preoccupation with pigs in this movie.
we got a theme here.
yes. I was like, am I missing something?
It's just that it is weird that whole like most demon movies, right?
Yeah.
You incite some evil something to come and eat you.
a hellhound or
a wolf or a hellhound or something. But in
sometimes
this
a
one,
cat.
it's
Yeah.
pigs. Yeah.
Let's go with these pigs over here.
Yeah, and you would think, was there a tie-in to the opening of the movie with the excommunicated priest, something to do with pigs? No, there was not. Okay. Had to eat something.
It's nice. All right. Well, that's all the graphics we have. Anything else you want to mention that we didn't talk about? Anybody?
Yeah, hogshead cheese.
What hogshead cheese? That sounds good.
It is good. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
What about Scrapple?
Now wait a minute. You're talking about head cheese from hogs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what? It's
Yeah.
actually head cheese?
Well, it's
Yeah.
brains.
No, it's not brains.
Oh, isn't it?
It's all the meat and everything. They boil the head
Okay,
down.
never mind.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Yeah.
No, and they take all the
no.
meat out of the
I
jaw.
thought you were
and
talking about
everything.
like a brand of cheese, like an
I
Uh-huh.
actual,
just
like
thought I was
boar's
talking
head.
about boar's head
Is
cheese.
it
I'm
boar's
talking
head?
no,
about
Yeah.
no.
regular head cheese.
No.
No, sir. No, sir.
It
I
is
don't even
delicious.
I don't even like meat. So
Well,
Wow,
you
did you
wouldn't
see
like head
Crystal do
cheese.
a 180 like instantly?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well, I learned it.
Oh no,
I knew that too. Somewhere along the line, I started thinking it was brains, but
The old
that's
joke
worked
was,
out.
when the Southerners got a hold of a pig, they got everything but the squeal. There is not a
Well,
single
that-
part of it. that
Everything
didn't
from
get
the rooter to
processed.
the tutor.
well, if you're gonna kill it, I say use
Yeah.
everything. That's why I'm like, look, people can like hate on taxidermy and stuff, but I'm like, well, they're not gonna like eat the head of a deer, so I mean,
When you have a deer now, not with the brain disease running through.
yeah, cordyceps shit too. Oof,
I
yuck.
was trying to figure out which one of these was the girl at the end that Clint Howard is kind of with, and then Bubba tries to take her. And I don't know for sure, but one of the people I clicked on was the character's name was Susie Baker, and the actress was Catherine Kelly Lang. This is great. She's been in where did it go? 6,397 episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
So if you figure, 250 a year,
That's a steady paycheck right there.
That's 24 years, and that's what it says, 87 to 24, like still doing it.
Good for her.
I don't know if that's who that was or not. I think she was probably one of the, because there was a scarcity of women in this movie, but it was a boys' military school, so
maybe that's why they were so insufferable.
I guess he says he drove home while still wearing his bloody cadet outfit, and a woman at a stoplight in a car next to him was staring at him, and he waved at her, and
he should have gave her that look in that other picture.
She immediately locked all the doors.
You should have gone to the Waffle House. They don't even give you a second look, no matter how gored up you are from a movie shoot. They're cool like that.
So yeah, I dug the decapitation scenes, and I love the deaths of all the bullies. That was great, and they turned into sniveling, whining.
Oh yeah.
babies.
Well, in fairness, when your choice is death by fire or death by being eaten by hogs, sniveling's a probably proper response.
And
Bad way to go.
We even got a zombie in this. Sarge turned into a zombie.
Yeah.
Oh, he does, and then twist the head of Bubba. Oh God!
Well, no, he pulled his heart out. Sarge is the one.
Oh, that's right.
You're right.
Sarge,
and it was still beating.
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty good. Yeah, they actually did a really good job on like the chest piece. I was like, that looks pretty good, really legit.
Some of the
I froze.
Oh
well,
he sure did.
Apparently, this was a favorite of Anton LaVey.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
High priest of the Church of Satan, and
what a jackass.
A couple of reviews.
Total tool.
One review said, "Evilspeak is a crazy movie, like crazy in a good way. Unfortunately, it's also kind of boring at times, taking well over an hour to get where it's going. Despite the slower spots, and there are plenty of slower spots, Evilspeak remains an enjoyably overlooked horror film just for its eccentricities."
Yeah.
Fair enough. I liked it a bit better, but okay.
It contains a strong performance from Howard, plus a deliciously over-the-top, nasty turn by veteran character actor R.G. Armstrong.
Yeah.
We agree. Are you going to say something?
Here's the reality.
Yeah.
People are either going to love 80s films or they're not. And like, if they don't, I don't try to justify my love for these films because I can't. Because I know that objectively, if they were made today, I would probably not accept a lot of the things that I accept from these films. But because there's a beautiful magic during this time, just of these films. Like, so you either like it or you don't. And I get it. I get why people don't. But God, I'm glad I do.
Yeah.
Because there's so many gems.
Well said.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's it. I guess I didn't say, but I had never seen this before. First time I watched it.
So none of us had ever seen this.
Yeah,
this
isn't
is
that
our first
crazy?
time for all of us.
I watched the Joe Bob episode when it first came out. So like I saw it once like 3 years ago. But
oh, well, still that's pretty new.
Not for a 40-year-old, yeah. All right. That's it for Evilspeak. And we do have some feedback. So everybody, please send your comments. You can leave comments on the Gruesome Magazine YouTube channel, or you can send them to feedback@gruesomemagazine.com, or visit our Facebook page at the Gruesome Magazine's H&R and DOH podcast Facebook group. All right. Well, we don't have a lot this time, but we have Road Games just came out 2 days ago. And before we start, have you seen Road Games, Crystal?
Okay. I had not seen Road Games. I watched 3/4 of it. I did not get to the end because then that's when we decided, because I was watching it. Yeah, that's when we decided to take the dog in, unfortunately. But okay, so this is kind of boring film. I'm not going to lie to you, okay? Because you mainly have Stacy Keach on the road. However, he's a phenomenal actor and very riveting. When, like, you know, with the older lady, when he picks up the older lady, and then they have like that tense
Yeah.
And then she runs away from him. I mean, like, the film is good. It's not one of my favorites, though, from the 80s, because I felt like it needed more. It felt like it was trying to be a character study. And I think that they were working toward that. Like, they were obviously showing that this dude is on the road all the time, and he's learned so much about people from being on the road. And, he's got his dingo, which is really kind of funny too.
Mhm.
Speaking of dogs, but I literally got to the point where, so I don't even know what happened, where Jamie Lee Curtis left him, like, because, they were already traveling together, and she left him to go find the other dude. And that's all I know.
Yeah, it got better from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. I was like, trust me, that was like when I was like in, but I haven't been able to rewatch it or get back into it.
Part of it that made it fascinating to me was that it was written as Hitchcock's Rear Window from a semi driving across the country.
Oh,
so instead of looking through a window and seeing all these people, they would run into them repeatedly on the road, kind of. Anyway.
I get it.
And here's the killer.
It takes a certain director to be able to pull that off, honestly.
And
it takes.
As it came out in the episode, he was then tapped to direct Psycho 2.
Oh.
So, all right. So we have feedback on road games. Thank you, Crystal.
Yes.
And that's sort of in response to one of our feedback. So episode 262, cool. Road games. The first one is from Mikey Z. Who's feeling the Mikey Z?
I'm not going to feel him.
Okay. Bill, you want to do Mikey Z?
Sure. Mikey Z says of road games, great Aussie thriller from the director of the future Psycho 2. This can be considered his test run for that Hitchcock homage. Very good characters, especially Stacy Keach as the sometimes lone trucker on a desolate stretch of Australian roadway, pursuing and pursued by a serial killer. No wrong man being sought here. It's more cat and mouse and cat until the end. Jamie Lee Curtis is here in a well-defined character caught up in the road games. Great podcast, but needed Crystal's point of view here. Yes, we did. You guys are great as always.
I feel bad because
hits it on the nose.
Mikey. Yeah.
I probably would have liked it a lot more had I been able to finish it, because this is when it got more exciting. You know, like he actually comes up to them and he hears them like, doing the hanky panky or whatever. And then he's like, oh, but I don't even know for sure if it was them.
It wasn't.
Because you don't see anything. Okay. See, I knew it. I knew it wasn't her.
It was a newlywed couple that was pulled off.
Okay. Because I was like,
I'll have to get a chance. Finish it up.
Her. Oh, honestly, I actually forgot about it. We had so much going on.
You've had a lot going on.
Yeah.
You've had a lot.
Now I need to finish that because I did really. I got really invested at the point where Jamie Lee Curtis came in and got in the car with them because she's trying to catch him too. And I loved the idea of the two of them, joining forces to like go after this dude. Now I want to know how it ends. Okay. I'm going to watch it after this.
Then we have one from Travis McDonald on road games. Bill, could you take that one?
Me again?
Oh, did you read the last one? I'm sorry, Crystal. Yes. Could you take Travis McDonald?
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah. I had forgotten about road games.
Your lips never move, Bill, so I forgot.
I know. That is the
problem. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. I'd forgotten about road games. Good choice. First saw it in the early 90s on A&E of all places. Stacy Keach was great in this, and I'm glad you mentioned his performance in The Ninth Configuration. Oh, God, I really liked that film. The Ninth Configuration is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was great. Like I said, like the performances, he's always good, though. There's never been a performance I've seen Stacy Keach in that I haven't liked.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, he is.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, from Body 72 Todd. Chad?
Todd says, great job as always, but extra is good. You will all be pleasantly surprised.
Oh, yeah. Creature.
I have to disagree.
Well, that's in response to, we had a couple of people on the feedback last episode say that we should do extra, and I had gone and looked it up, so I put it on the schedule for my next pick. I found it on streaming someplace. So that's where that came from. And then Chad and Bill told me how terrible it was. And so
it may not be terrible to some, but I watch it and I'm holy crap.
So thanks, Mikey. Also Travis McDonald, and I'm assuming Todd Bodie. Anyway, appreciate the comments.
Yes.
We actually have our schedule lined up now for a couple months. I might as well just tell you. So next up is Crystal's pick.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what you picked, Crystal?
Yeah, of course. Parents
from 1989.
Right.
Randy Quaid. I mean, not Randy. Yeah, Randy.
Yeah, Randy.
Oh my
Quaid.
God. Yeah,
Randy.
Quaid. I was like, wait. I was like, is it him or the brother? Sorry, but yeah, Randy Quaid. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Quaid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quaid.
And then our next episode after that will be Chad's pick. You remember what you picked?
Yeah.
Hell no.
I thought it was
Enigma.
Extra.
Lucio Fulci's Enigma.
Oh, wow. Okay. Fun.
And then the one after that will be Extra. So we're talking out till like Extra will be like November 2nd or something. So 2 months.
Oh, wow.
I have
November.
the bubonic plague that week.
September. I'm sorry.
September. Yeah. Okay.
I was going to say, I was like, oh my gosh. That means like Dragon Con's like, right.
My brain was thinking 9th month and then said November because no one is 9. Anyway. All right. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Be sure to leave reviews. Come see us next episode for what is that thing? What are we doing? Parents.
Yes.
Who's the woman in that? Do you remember?
Oh God.
Mary Beth Hurt.
Oh yes.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen this, so
I can't believe you haven't seen it. Like it's funny. Every time I think of this film, I think of Serial Mom because I feel like they kind of go together. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Kind of that.
Well, we should hang it up. Thanks everybody. Yes. Thanks to the Grue Believers, and thanks to Chad, Crystal, and Bill.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Say good night.
Good night.
Good night, folks. I'm waving.
Good night. I'm waving.
Gruesome Magazine.